Hello. Hi and hello and how are you? My dear friends. Now, you might have saw me last night on a live stream because I'm doing these live streams every Monday now that we're doing slow stitching and learning different things we can do in our slow stitching projects and our slow stitching art. Last night on yesterday's live stream, we are learning together about we did a chain stitch and we did a back stitch and we made yo-yos and we made hexagons. Now, I'm throughout the week after I do a live stream, throughout that week following, I want to do a few just standalone videos, hopefully a few, maybe only one, maybe none, but I'm making one right now. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that chain stitch and I'm going to add beads to it. So this is actually right here is what we did last night. This is how far we got last night. And this morning I was playing with another stitch here, and we'll talk about that later or another day. But then here is the chain stitch with beads on it. See how pretty that is? I like that. Okay, and that is going to be pretty on an art project with slow stitching. So that's what I want to show you now. Now, if I can turn this, I keep changing my camera around. So I want to try to get it to where, because I haven't figured how to zoom on this thing yet. So I'm hoping that you'll be able to see okay. I'm going to be stitching on this piece of white felt. And felt is kind of a fun thing to stitch on too, because it has, and felt is so inexpensive to purchase. And because the felt is already of a heavy enough little texture, heavy enough that it kind of holds its shape while especially while you're just learning to do some stitches. But you can buy it in all different colors and whatnot. So, and then I have a tray of these little seed beads, and I'm not sure even exactly what size they are, but what you'd have to do is make sure your little seed bead goes on to your through your needle. Make sure your needle goes through that, your seed bead goes through that needle. And but if you have gotten one of my kits, it has a few of these beads in your kit. But now I'm going to show you how I will just add the beads to the chain stitch. So for the chain stitch, what we do is we enter from the bottom to get started. All right, and then we entered from the bottom, and then we see in a chain stitch, now you would go around like this and enter and come up here. You'd enter in the same place you come out of, and you'd enter it back in here to make the one stitch. Okay, so we're doing the same thing, but what we're going to do is we're going to add 6 beads. I'm putting 6 beads, and of course you can use it's going to depend on what size you're working with, because you might have like smaller beads and a smaller needle and have more delicate work. These ones I think are 4 millimeters, but I'm not. I shouldn't even guess because I'm not sure. So now I have those 6 beads, and I've got them down there I've got them on the thread. Okay, but I only want 3 on each side of the chain. So now I'm going to go back into this where I came out of, and I'm going to come back up. I've got this one probably about a 1/2 inch. Let me see if I want it shorter than that. Yeah, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of come up where there's 3 beads there. I'm going to come up right about that same length. So I'm going to come up with my needle, pull my thread through, and those other 3 beads will go on that side, on the other side. So see, now on that chain stitch, you have three, oh, this light doesn't help, does it? You have 3 beads on either side of that stitch, and your thread just came between the 3 beads. So now I'm going to switch colors, and maybe I'll go with greens. Now I put some beads like this on in my Amazon affiliate link, and I think they're like $5 and something. And I also put in some beading needles. So if you were to get smaller beads too. Now these are working good with this size of a needle that I have, which is I can't even tell you what it is. I'm still learning the types of needles. But I'm finding that even some of these beads have a little trouble sometimes, some of them, so they're not like all exact, have a little trouble getting over the eye of the needle. So you don't want a real big eye in your needle. And so now, see, I just split those in half. So I've got 3 beads and 3 beads. I'm going to go back in where that last thread came out of. I'm going back in there. And then I'm going to come out about the same place where those 3 beads end. And then I will just pull that. Don't ever pull it real tight because you'll pucker up your fabric. And so then, see, I'm on a roll now. So I'm going to, let's say I did green there. Let me put, oh, these are like little lavender ones. Those are pretty. And I'm going to put 6. And they, if you do go on to the Amazon affiliate link, you can click on the beads to go look at them. But then you can also see when you get in there, that one just flew away. Oh, there it is. That there is so many to choose from. And like I said, I think, see, now that very one right there doesn't want to go over my needle, so I'll just get another one. So I think that and then that one fit just fine. I think they're 4mm, but I'm not real sure. It doesn't say. I mean, I don't know. It might even say, and I don't know that. I'm not too bright. Okay, and three beads on that side. That's where I'm going to bring my needle back up to make my chain. And there, now I have that one with a little lavender on it. So these ones here now are kind of a champagne color. So I'm going to put those all on that needle. I'll put 6 of them. And you can go with 8 if you want a longer. I tried it with 2 as well, but I kind of didn't like just the 2 on there. And so, yeah, those all fit on there. And no, I don't want any more coffee, sweet cheeks. Yeah, I would take some cold drink. I think I already brought my... Did I?
Water.
Yeah, it's my water. Okay, so there I went with the champagne colored ones. And look how pretty that's looking. Isn't that pretty? I think it's beautiful. I think it's just beautiful. I love it with the beads. I love the look of the beads. Let me see. Get 6 pink ones. And then if you alternate, like if you were doing a Christmas something, maybe red, green, red, green, red, green, that would be pretty. But I'm that rainbow sort of person. So I'm that rainbow sort of person, so I like all colors of everything. But these, I think this is just beautiful, putting these beads on the chain stitch. And so there I have split them in half. So I got 3 and 3. I'm going to go back into that hole I just pulled out of, make a new, and come back out right at that, where them 3 beads meet. And so I made that loop a little bit bigger, but that's okay. It's fine like that. Now let me see. Oh, I need to get some blue in there, don't I? Thank you, sweetie.
You're welcome. I'll get you another one.
Say hi to my friends.
Hi, y'all.
Yep, that's the hubster. He just brings me something to drink. I will never dehydrate because he keeps me either in coffee or cold drink all the time. Well, the cold drink is usually lemonade. I'm a lemonade kind of person. And we just call it drink. Drink. He goes, you want some drink? Okay, so there. Now I just put those blue ones on there. And look how pretty that is. Ooh. And so I want 3 on each side. So I'm going to go back in that hole I just came out of. Make a new hole right up is the length of those 3 beads. Pull my thread up. And there I have now a blue link in my chain. Isn't that beautiful? Now, if you would want to, you could make the whole thing one color, like all gold. Oh, that time is the first time I picked out exactly 6. If you want to make a gold chain, these ones are kind of like a little honey brown one here. These are pretty. And like I say, there is so many choices of bead colors. You might want to do a entire slow stitching project just out of stitching beads onto your fabric. And because when we're doing slow stitching, we are making up our own patterns, our own rules. We do whatever we want. Now look at there. I got enough thread that I can put maybe one more color on there. So I'm going to get this here. This is pretty. It's kind of a teal. And so I'm going to put those 6 beads on there. And now also, let me tell you while we're here, is that now I'm putting this on this whole, I think it's an 8 by 12 piece of felt. And see, I can't bead and talk at the same time. All right, now, yeah, this is the last one I'll be able to do because okay, and then I'll come up, oops, right here, come back up, pull that through. Now I've got 3 on each side, and now I'm going to go, see, and those beads are on, the thread is coming up between the beads. They're not outside the beads, they're in the beads. Now I'm going to go outside the beads and go back in here, and to finish that right there. And then, thank you, sweetie.
It's a different time.
Okay, here, I have to put that down here. Thank you, sweetie. And I will. And then I'm going to just tie a knot in there to hold that. And on this I'm using, oh yeah, this is embroidery floss. I was thinking I had the twisted floss, but it's not, it's embroidery. So, but you can use any kind of use any kind of your threads to do that with. But there it is with using the beads on the chain stitch, and that's where each stitch has 6 beads on each one of those colors. Is 6 beads, 3 on each side of the stitch. And I think that is absolutely gorgeous. And what I started to say, this is a large piece here. I might do stitches on different kind of stitches on either side, or maybe I'll do something all the way around, or maybe I'll stitch some kind of flower up here and maybe some leaves here, sort of like what we did, yesterday with this. Maybe a flower up here. And here's what I've got, just this piece that I just play with things on it, just try to learn more things. And this is a chain stitch too, but it's done like this except different. It's done like this except exactly like this except different. Yeah, got that? Okay. But that's my plaything. But then you can cut that you might say, okay, I'm done, and then you can cut around here and stitch this whole thing. Either leave it in your little basket of whatever you have your little samples in, or you can cut it like this out and add it to your book, to your sample book, or your sampler. I think tomorrow, when I make a little video, I want to show you my book and show you what I'm doing in my fabric journal. But that's what I wanted to show you today, how you can add those beads to your chain stitch. And I think it is beautiful, and I think you will too. And so, like I say, if you did get one of my kits, should be some beads in there. If there's not, I really goofed. But they're not that much money to buy the beads. I mean, you can get them over to Walmart. You can order them on the Amazon site, and they're very inexpensive. I mean, I don't know why some are more expensive than the others, because when I was looking at them, some are like $15. These ones are the $5. So anyhow, let me read something to you, and I'm going to read out of Helen Steiner Rice, Lovingly, Poems for All Seasons. Now, this is where I need my... Okay, so we've been reading for the beginning of the year, but now it is becoming, now it is coming close to Valentine's Day. So I want to read, gotta get me a bookmark here. There we go. And everything falls. Okay. Let's see, what is today? Today's already the 2nd, isn't it, of February. So we only got 12 days before Valentine's Day. And the legend of the Valentine. The legend says Saint Valentine was in a prison cell, thinking of his little flock he had always loved so well, and wanting to assure them of his friendship and his love, he picked a bunch of violets and sent them by a dove. And on the violets' velvet leaves he pierced these lines divine that simply said, I love you, and I'm your Valentine. So through the years that followed, from that day on to this, folks still send messages of love and seal them with a kiss. Because a saint in prison reached through prison bars one day and picked a bunch of violets and sent them out to say that faith and love can triumph no matter where you are, for faith and love are greater than the strongest prison bar. That's it. Faith and love are greater than the strongest prison bar. And that is good. I like that. That's cute. And there's a few poems in here by Helen Steiner Rice for Valentine's. And so I'm going to be reading those throughout the next few days, along with some others. I always find something to read, and that's for today. But now, so look how pretty that is on there. I think that is just beautiful. So hopefully you will find some beads. Maybe you have some beads. And always when you're looking for beads, again, if you have old broken jewelry that has got beads on it, an old beaded necklace that you don't use, any kind of beads, they don't have to be this type of beads, any kind of beads, and you can add beads, even if you're doing just nothing but a running stitch, a borrow stitch. You can put a bead on every stitch. So you can do it. You can do any kind of beads, but these are the ones that are like little bitty pony beads, or they're seed beads. You can get smaller ones even than this. You can get real tiny beads. But anyhow, that's what I wanted to show you today. And so this is just a short video, my goodness. But I ask God to watch over you every step you take and every move you make. And I will see you on the next video. Hopefully I'll make one tomorrow. We'll see what we can do. But it will be like an add-on to what we were doing on Monday. Always the videos through the week will be add-ons to the live stream that I do on Mondays. I ask God to watch over you, every step you take, every move you make, and I will see you on the next video. God bless.